Hi, Taurians. If you want to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, here's your ink blot made in your name and essence. If you want to take a screenshot.
What do you mean?
So you can scry in your own time and terms for shapes and symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Taurians will scry your ink, add on tarot and oracle, and the spirit box here is already kicking for any audio additions that may inspire and further our interconnected nature. Thank you for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights, and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. It's very busy over here. May it resonate or release freely, of course. Taurians, I'm going to take a moment here if you'd like to join me to close the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Let's go, Taurians. What are those things called? It's not a spike. It's kind of like a ledger and overhang. Okay, so when I did your ink blot, it's all done in sepia and white for the month of July, going deep shamanic style. Yours dried a little bit like this. So initially when I stepped forward to it, it's going to be upside down, but that's later on in the month. We'll come to this perspective, right? So when I was preparing your reading, I had to peel it open. And I probably should do it the right way so we are on the same page. And it's very interesting. This doesn't happen very often. So I'm like, okay, here we are for Taurians. I pulled the pages apart and I'm like, ooh. And there's something else going on with Taurians. Interesting. And it was like this earthly dark, or simply the density of the meat suit and the mindset. The mind is sharp. That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, what is this? Is it a branch? Might be extending out to something, but I'll get there in a moment. But it revealed all this light. Sorry, I got to flip it. I don't know if it's like vulnerability or kind of like my true self, or you're coming into that form of moron. That's not nice. Coming into this, like your light body is being activated throughout the earthly expression through the meat suit, like the multidimensional man. It's like I'm seeing a very large bird that is, in a funny way, but perhaps it might resonate with some, like flashing open this cloak of these feathers. And then there's all this like story happening in the side body. So maybe you got a lot of side stories. Maybe you got side hustles going on. Maybe there's just things you keep really, really close, like a family feel. And when you're like, your wings come in, it's like, I'm good. Nobody's none the wiser. But this light body is coming through. Maybe you've been working on your solar body or your light body. Because when I come into the mind, it feels very, very sharp. But I'm protective. Almost defensive a little bit, if I may. Like right up here. I'm protected but defensive. And then I got like these trails. You know what this is reminding me of? It's reminding me of in the show, Skinwalker Ranch. Anyway, belief or not belief, it's whether they've done certain experiments, and when they show, if Joe Blow is walking and then they like track him, and like there's mishaps in the connection, what appear to be mishaps. Like even though Johnny Joho is walking here, the trail shows him really walking like 25 feet in the air or 25 feet underneath. This is what this is reminding me of. This white trail. So I don't know if you've been through some things that have kind of led you to this owl that has some old pagan kind of feel to it, like old god feel. Like this wisdom is old. There's a lot of characters in that side aura. Like it doesn't even have to be under your wing, but they could just be out in the aura, easily 12 feet. but it works its way in and then works its way out. I'm seeing a floating either Professor X or a Stephen Hawking. Or maybe even a Buddha. Spirit of initiation and ancestor of hope is coming through. If those cards mean anything to you, please follow them versus listening to my yammerings. And then I have here dancer of lies and spirit of wisdom. Don't worry about if any cards are upside down. My decks are in chaos. Oh, that's the defense thing. Any sort of lies. What is perceived as a lie to the Taurian energy, individually or collectively out. Which is, okay, so I'm seeing I'm going to say a doctor energy because that's just how it's coming out. You know, like, I'd be like, oh, let's look in there deeper. But I'm seeing them like right at your third eye. You're towards the pineal gland. And I'm seeing you have a long trunk. You're not an elephant, but it's an elephant trunk of remembering. And then I'm also seeing like when they do reflexes on knees, they're doing that on the third eye for some sort of reflex. And that's connected to this Professor X or Stephen Hawking or a Buddha. Color. A Buddha that would levitate. Is that there's one piece or part that is already stepping up to receive from it. It's like a ladder. A ladder leans. Like you have help to bring the ladder so you don't have to jump up or do any extra effort. Like somebody might be a ladder in your life, some energy. Maybe it's your environment, maybe it's your job, maybe it's your meditation practice, maybe it's the food you eat. Please follow all that. When there's something in your life that is a ladder, the way I'm feeling it, that already like leads you closer and closer to that. So it feels quite effortless. Somebody also might feel like you have a monkey on your back, or there's a female energy that has an attachment to them, whether that's you or somebody close to you in that 0 to 12 foot span of the aura. Yeah, because it's definitely a female energy. And it's like I have a monkey on my back, whether that's an illness, a health related thing, or mental, or just maybe the way that like they're a worry wart, something along that lines. Like there's something about them. But I'm seeing a very, very sweet character. I can't even tell you what it is. But they have like a butterfly that looks like a heart, the way I'm seeing it, on their nose. And this feels more male in expression. And it is connected into the heart of this female.
25.
Right there. There's the female monkey on the back. There's your Professor X with the ladder. And burp. So there's the male. I don't know if I can even like scry to help. Like, see the little butterfly heart?
George.
The wisdom with that spirit of wisdom. It's almost like a wicked wisdom. Taurians, feeling like you have a wicked wisdom. Sharpshooter. Slice and dice. Okay. Sorry, Taurians. I'm going to keep going in here. Ancestor of hope. There's something drawing me into that, into the initiation. The initiation draws me into that Professor X, Stephen Hawking vibes. Right there. And it's almost like this is the star bridge. So like as the people within your side, the characters in your, the side characters in your life, this other thing. I'm not demoting anyone by saying you're a side character. It's actually equalizing them. It's equalizing everybody, that we're on the same plane. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. And it leads me up to this. And then it, like, I'm embraced. But there's hope in there. There's hope. I hope I'm not lying to myself, or maybe I hope that wisdom reveals itself. Like, there's all this thinking. But then I have like this goofiness coming around it, and it feels quite fun. Okay, we're going to go there. No, we're actually going to go there. All right, Taurian. So it kind of feels like, if it's almost like you're too smart. Does that make sense, Taurian? And also realizing how this floods out into the collective, whether this is individually and spans out to the collective. And knowing that it is confusing. Or I don't know that it is, or the many characters can be confusing, because everything externalized is an expression of the internal, what I'm internalizing, or it's helping me internalize it by interacting with it externally. But you might have some worries abound, but something that you're doing, or somebody is helping you towards this ladder of bigger, broader wisdoms.
Hag.
Could be an older woman. And you don't have to do it all alone, Taurians. I know that, okay, so those are like bull things. Temperance on the bottom. You don't have to do it all alone to prove something. That doesn't prove anything other than something to you. But in lieu, it could affect things. Page of Wands and the Six of Cups. I'll bring these up if they mean anything to you. Please follow that. These are all your goofy characters. You've got like the goofy and the humorous come through, and then you have all like these serious people as well. Like, I want to insert them. We've been talking about them here in your side stories. Like in different ways, shapes, or forms.
Blood.
Like they're right in there. Maybe it's all like family. Maybe it's bloodlines. These are your relatives. This is your bloodlines. Your mother's side, your father's side. Absolutely. Like maybe one side has this sense of humor and the other side is more serious, and they hold this presence of pride because it seems to be coming through a whole lot, where the other side, if I may, it could even be parts of your own energy, your personality. And the other side is a little bit more playful. And you're like, it's almost like you bounce between two. Like, am I allowed to have fun? Does it take away from my serious demeanor or my determined demeanor? The World comes through. I don't know if that'll... You were born from both sides. Like the two pieces of the egg support the being within you, Taurians. Sorry, I'm going to keep... This is that light body. It's like coming out in the crease here of creation, which is what I call it, the ink blot. And we were talking about your solar body, and then applying that, the world. You bring the two worlds together. This isn't necessarily about having to be friendly with everybody. Emperor as well. The dark and the light. You are a bit of both. You're a bit of humor, and you're a bit of seriousness. Five of Swords. This might have caused conflict within the self, or could not even... I'm not looking to blame the lineages. That's not what it's talking about. This is what they've brought in. They are companions of each other because you are an expression of both in one. Maybe this has been a conflict for you in some points. Parts of your personality. Three of Cups. I just heard girls just want to have fun. And again, I could say Beastie Boys came through for the other side. King of Coins. Judgments. It's almost like I feel in this very large presence and the branches of who you are and who you're being. There might be a lot of judgments being applied. Ghosts of the past, skeletons in your closet, Seven of Wands, Chariot. And you're moving on from that. Those are not nice words to say to oneself. or to say to other people, because it's going to come back. It's going to come back in ways to Empress, yeah, to help you understand what that means when you say it. Like, say it. Say it, don't spray it. Do you know what I mean? Like that karmic cycle. But that, I feel like, is being released in all these wisdoms and the hopes that you have, because you're being initiated into something. You're being guided by, like I said, Professor X, or to Stephen Hawking's, like serious characters in spirit are supporting you. But I have to acknowledge, for me at least, there's this feeling of like you might be waiting for a surprise if you have too much fun. Like, all around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. Dun, 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 pop, go. It's like I'm waiting for that if I'm having too much fun. And that makes me feel like it's a line of thought I kind of want to break. I want to break that. And not in a, break. But I want to be like, why would I want to think that? Of what value is that? The value is that it's going to reaffirm something to me. Oh, I knew it. Well, that's what it reaffirmed to you. But I don't feel like you really, like that I knew it. So why do you nurture it? Now, this may not be you individually. It could be you working with the collective energy, different people at your job, different people in your family. And what your permission to acknowledge these things, how you may feel, but it's something in the way that you transmute it. Because I want to note on the King of Coins here, it could affect your money, but I also feel like Taurians, as much as I'm in this, like there's all this power plays, playful power. It's power all in itself, with the Judgment in the world, the Emperor. Like, these are some serious energies stepping forward. But then there's also these silly things. And I feel like each side of this is trying to apply judgments, or, little, oh, look at them play. They're not, whatever the case. And maybe it's vice versa, and the kids are like, deadbeats. I don't know what it is. But the point is I feel like between the Emperor and the King of Coins, if I go to one Professor X and I go to one Stephen Hawking's, like, look at that balance. You might even be working with, there we go, Libra energy, Libra love, loving both parts. Doesn't mean you have to like things. Doesn't mean you have to interact with them. Doesn't mean you need to be soft with them.
Don't leave me.
No, it doesn't mean you need to run away from anything or dismiss it. You just simply... It's almost like a cease and desist. It is what it is. But Taurians, you're definitely owning up, and it's going to be seen and felt within your money first, your stability of structure. And even in this Emperor, the light is overtaking him. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. And I also want to note within the male, and see, there we go, the Kabbalic tree, and then there's the feminine in the middle. There's the nurturing. Again, that, oh my goodness. Just like in your ink blot, how it's like exposing. And then you have this King of Coin with this cape, and it, like with his hands open, exposing his vulnerability, his, and I know traditionally we see the feminine as the dark energy. But in this case, it's the protective nature of this meat suit. The male energy is protecting the female energy, but they're working together. But it's almost like there's all these stories that we've been through, but it's like there's a coming together, and the map is making sense. The map is making sense. Taurians, I hope that makes sense. I feel very...
Recently.
Maybe this is a recent thing. Maybe this is a recent revelation. Like, I had to calm down from it, because I'm like, whew, Taurians, let's close out. We will, if I didn't say already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for all those who donate, who buy me a coffee and PayPal. Like, you warm my haunted heart, truly. And we will come back later on in July to reverse the Rorschach, and we'll take a look at it from a different perspective. Closing out here for the Taurian energy of if we have anything to add. Woodwives adaptability. Here's that feminine, does it come through? There's that feminine energy again. Masculine, feminine expressions are indifferent. Everyone's adapting in this. Everyone's adapting and evolving. Also, there might be something about woodwives is bringing me into an earth wife. So you might have a wife or a partner that is an earth sign, and it's helping build that bridge, that ladder towards your seriously smart spirit guide. That's what I'm going to call it. Horseman, herald of change is coming through. I feel like this has come through with the King of Coins, changing your money cycles. And it's noticed, at least how I'm feeling it, through the way I communicate with people, characters in my life. My relationship with them, my resonance with their energy is reflective in my money as well. Resources. Absolutely. This is in the mind. Too smart for your own good, they say. But you're protecting something. It protects your light. It protects your water, your elixir, your fluidity of thoughts. Anything else for Taurians? Empty well, time to replenish. Treasures hidden in the wisp is on the bottom. Taurians, as we're closing out here, I actually don't see it as an empty well, time to replenish, but I do see it as a replenishment in your monetary energy and current and relationship with money.
Go away.
And realizing that it might come from different places that support you as well. Or there might be endeavors that you're doing, different mindsets. You know what I'm saying? Money, stability. Stability can come in many different shapes or forms. Money is one of them. And the desire for things to be grand around you. Anyway, so it's like that's being replenished. That cycle, you finished it out completely. If there was any sort of block in your abundance, if I may. Yeah, I'll leave that there. Okay. So, but now as I notice that, like, okay, flushing that cycle out, those frequencies, now I'm standing at the top and I see the whole universe ready to replenish me. And again, it's like science and spirituality. The blend of both, the ladder between the worlds, the resonance and relationship I have with. Some I might have, like those characters, some might be more sciencey in my relationship with them. Some might be more spiritual. Some might be more self. Some might be more shop talk. You know what I mean? And that all of that is okay. Of course it's okay. You adapt. You're adapting to this new change of the frequency, and you still have old resources available to you, but it's almost like, if I'm being very, very honest, be mindful that not all old resources, as you are changing and shifting, have elevated as well. So the relationship might change. You might be like, oh, I really like, Jessica and Johnny, but just not really feeling anymore. But it's not detesting. It's just that maybe it changes. The conversation changes. The value exchanges change. Be careful not to empty yourself to those. Maybe once before it was like an even keel type thing. Anyway, okay. Hopefully you know what I mean. Taurians, thank you so much. I grabbed this deck. Let love grow between the self. And if somebody is in the hospital, please don't put yourself in the hospital with a heart attack, because I feel like sometimes there can be the stress about everything. Please move towards life and the reflection of the elements with your light body. It is shining through. It is shining through, and it's revealing. But it's revealing your realizations. But there is something about that doctor of the reflexes of the third eye. If it has something else to do in the density, get things checked out. Simple stuff. Get it checked out. Stay on top of it. You have a lot to do here just by being you. So I look forward to seeing you next time, Taurians. Thank you so much for being you, and I'll see you again.